Hey Larry, when I was walking home from your house tonight, I had a thought. So, um, I was thinking about air molecules, and specifically just two of them. So let's just focus on one molecule first. So if you have a molecule of air, if you just sit there and you zoom in on one and just watch it move throughout, just do 2 dimensions, make things simple. And let's say there's 100 blocks. Um, Give it enough time, and eventually it will have spent roughly an equal amount of time in each block. So if there's 100 blocks, you're going to hit a time when average out it's about, 1 block. Each block has spent, it's been in there for 1 second or whatever. So the point is, each block, 1 second, everybody, everybody hits. Now you take another air molecule and you follow that one. Give it enough time, same thing. 1 out of 100. This is the probability. Now we're going to do some multiplication. It might help to think about if it was a die and you roll the die and it's 100 sides and you roll it. Oh, what do you get? There's 1 out of 100 chance for each of those numbers. In the same way, there's 1 out of 100. Okay, I know you're not stupid, Larry. I'm going somewhere. I promise. Roll that die again for the second molecule. So different die, different color. These events, we're going to say they're independent. So all you do is you multiply them. Because it's one, then the other. That's what we do in math. We multiply. You multiply them together, and I guess what's double zeros? That's 4 zeros. That's 10,000. So 1/10,000th. And so you get 1/10,000th, 1 in 10,000 chance that they're both the same. That they're both in the same block at that point in time. So that's like really low. Here's where, alright, so listen. Go back to air molecules. If you have these two ones and they're each rolling around, the odds of them being in the same block at the same time, 1 in 10,000, right? You need 10,000 seconds. And what happens if you rig that second air molecule, rig that die, load that die, so it'll get the same number every time. 100 out of 100 times you roll it. So you fix an air molecule in that block. Now what are the odds of them meeting? Again, we multiply. 1 out of 100 times 100 out of 100. So air molecule's not moving. You get 1 out of 100. So that's such a larger fraction than 1 out of every 10,000. And the same concept, so that's the math, here's the nature. The same concept can apply if you're a human and you want to, or you're any sexual reproducing species and you want to have sex. A really good strategy for you meeting, because without this strategy, it's like you're walking through the woods and it's dark out. It's much more likely. Or if you're walking through the grocery store and you lose your dad, they always say, stay still, right? And it's because mathematically you're more likely to have an interaction. The same idea applies to sex. So you want to have one reproductive gamete that just stays still and it's just fat, and that's the egg. That's girls. And then you have boys that are fucking just blowing loads left and right. It doesn't matter. Because that means you're calling out, you're like trying to find, you're in the woods running around, and you have one person in the woods who's just saying, come get me, come get me, come get me, and they're staying still, so you can hone in on that signal and go find them, and all the rest is nature. Well, I had that on my mind, Larry, I had to get it off.